Oh yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live and direct, man. We're having a blast. Well, we were having a blast until me and Mark got kicked out. That's why we're in his car right now. Our wives kicked us out, man. They said you guys been fishing too much. You guys been having too much fun together. You guys might as well go live with each other. So that's why we're here right now, man. In Mark's car.
Oh man, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad, man. We got Shad in the back to eat.
Shad,
Yeah, to eat. We're gonna sell some Shad at the boat ramp for some gas money to get back home. Oh man, let's see what's going on, man. My guys. My brother's in the house. What's going on, everybody? Of course, you got myself, Has Life, and we got
Fishing Magician 2.0.
The Fishing Magician.
My magic was not working today, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, my luck ran out today, guys.
My
luck ran out, and his magic ran out, man. Triple City Glizzies. Oh man, but we have an exciting show for you guys today, man. Oh man, I cannot wait. We have a special, very, very, very special guest. The third member of our show. He's AWOL right now.
We
don't know where he is.
We have texted, we have called.
I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay. I hope everything's okay with us. Oh man, but yeah, what's going on? You want to give some shout outs to some people?
Yes, Brian B, what's up, man? Peace City, what's going on? Mike Urban's in the house. Maurice, what's up? Bass Hunter, Team 2.0. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. What else did I miss? Uncle Jeep, of course, is in the house. What's up?
Oh,
man?
Uncle Jeep, welcome to Has Life Island, Uncle Jeep. Jesse is in the house. What's going on?
What's
Sharina,
up,
Frank H. Let's see who else. Willow's in the house. N.I. Fishing Tales, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one before.
They were in my stream last time. I think they're UK, pretty sure.
Thomas Little Page is in the house. P City, how'd your day go out there today on the live? Sorry we weren't able to tune in. Fishing the Mid-South is in here. We got Jay in the house. Let's see. I think we got some new comments. Oh, new comments flying. CBC Country Boys in the house. Catfish and Poppy's in the house.
What's going on? OG, what's up? Darla Catfishing is in the house.
What's going on? What's up, Darla?
Frank H, what's up?
Willard Casey from Facebook is in the live. Appreciate you coming in. Yes, we are running on both streams, YouTube and Facebook.
Yes.
The studio is in the car.
Yes,
guys. Right now it is, man. We're low budget right now.
Low budget.
We don't have the Muddy River sign studio like he did, so we're just gonna go live from the car today. Oh man! But without further ado, man, let's get into this show. Well, the reason why me and Mark are here, you want to tell them?
Sure. So a while ago, I was actually invited by Mike Chavez and the Catfish crew to come fish the James River, and a spot opened up, and he was able to come with us. So we were on the James River all day. We got up. He got up at 3:30. I got up at 4:15, and we made the long drive, 2 hours and 15 minutes out here. Met up with them, went to a bunch of different spots, learned a bunch of valuable information. Caught bait this morning, fished everywhere. We didn't catch any catfish, but we got some hats and we caught some gar and we got some bait in the back. So these
are the only 2 catfish that we caught today.
Yes.
Yeah, haslifefishing.com is for the merch. That's where you guys can go get the merch. Oh man, but we had a blast out here fishing the James River for the first time. It's a massive body of water.
Yes.
We went to a lot of spots. We covered a lot of water. It got a little shaky towards the end with the wind and the waves, so we had to go tuck off and hide into some spots. But we had a blast either way, man. We're still gonna put a video out for you guys. We had a blast. We had fun. Shout out to the Catfish crew. Shout out to Kris. For opening up the invitation to come out on his boat.
Absolutely.
But let's get to the main event.
Oh man.
The man, the myth, the legend. Somebody said the original Mexicat. We got Mr. Kris Flores. Let's go ahead and bring him up.
Oh man.
What's going on, everybody?
Ooh, there he is.
How you guys doing?
Oh man. We were doing great. Woke up feeling great. Thought we were going to get on some biggins today, But you know how fishing goes. Sometimes it doesn't happen, man. How's it going over there on your side, though, Kris?
It's good, man. I did a guided trip this morning. We caught a few fish. Still fighting the wind. Hasn't changed much since the last live stream I did. It's not as extreme right now, but I mean it's tolerable. I got to get out there with some drift stocks and whatnot. We're out there dragging baits, but it was a good day. We caught a few fish. They were happy, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Put some fish in the boat for the customers. They were satisfied, had a good time. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. So, where did Muddy River catfishing start? Where did go back 20, 30, 40? No, I'm just playing with you.
Actually, you're not too far off, man. I've been fishing that little area for about 20 years, believe it or not.
Okay.
And the way I came upon that place is I used to always talk about fishing when I was at work. At that point in time, I was a carpenter's apprentice. Not out there, and I always talking about fishing this, fishing that. And my carpenter one day, he turns at me, he's like, "Man, you really like fishing, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, man, I do." He said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you about a little spot that I know of. Keep it to yourself, just you want to go out there and do some fishing." He's like, "You got to drive here, you got to go here, you're gonna run out of road, you got to hike like a quarter mile. There's mosquitoes, there's thorn bushes, there's this, there's that. But when you get out there, I think you'll enjoy it." And when he told me that, I was like, "Man, I don't know. I don't think I want to go way the heck out in the middle of nowhere." But then for some reason, I kept thinking about it. I said, I'm gonna go check it out. So one day, I just took the adventure, went out there, followed his directions, and I found this awesome spot. And looking at it initially, I was like, "Man, I doubt there's any fish in this place, man. It doesn't look like you catch anything out of there." And I started fishing it, and first fish I caught out of there was probably about a 5-pound blue cat. And I was like, "Oh, okay, there's fish in here. Let's start exploring it a little bit." And so I would spend, just to give you an idea, before then there was no Google Maps and stuff. So I just drive down random roads and hike until I could maybe find water or not, and just squeeze through bushes and pop out somewhere and say, "Oh, cool, let's fish this spot."
Yeah.
So I did a lot of exploring there, and when I finally decided to start doing YouTube, I was sitting there on the bank, and I was thinking, what could I name my channel? I needed to be unique. I needed to also represent what I'm doing. And I was sitting there looking. I had my little boat back then, that little 8-foot Walker Bay, and I was looking at it, and it was covered in mud. I looked at my shoes; they were covered in mud. I looked at my sandwich; it had mud on it. I'm like, Muddy River, yeah.
Muddy River.
Sure. So that's how it came to be, man. Muddy River catfishing. And actually, you're talking about that. The 25th of this month was our 9-year birthday
on YouTube.
Wow.
YouTube, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Happy YouTube birthday.
Yeah, happy
Yeah. You guys are still in diapers then, I think, right?
Yeah. This guy.
23 now.
Yeah. So he was 14.
14 years old. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's hard because time flies so fast. Like, I think the one that gets me, it's one of those like mixed feelings when a guy will walk up, shake my hand, and say, "Man, I grew up watching your videos." And I'm like, "Wait, whoa. What do you mean you grew up watching my stuff?" But yeah, you think about it, 9 years, a long time.
Yeah, now you're one of the vets on YouTube,
Yeah.
per se.
I don't feel
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what got you started into fish? You were always into fishing your whole life, or was it something that you picked up? Did your parents take you fishing? Father take you fishing? How did that start before the YouTube? How did that go about?
So believe it or not, I've been fishing since I was 6 months old, and my dad's the one who got me into it.
Okay.
But my mom is the one who taught my dad how to fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's surprising. That's surprising.
yeah. My dad grew up. He just grew up hardworking. Ended up dropping out of high school to help support his family. He was the oldest of his brothers and sisters, so he got a job working in the fields, making extra cash that they needed to survive. And then ever since then, he's been just working all his life. And my grandparents would take my mom and my uncles out camping, and they would go fishing and all that stuff. So that's where the roots of it came in. When my mom and dad met, my mom invited my dad, hey, well, let's go fishing. And my dad's like, I guess we'll go check it out. And he ended up liking it. So he started introducing me to it as soon as I was old enough to get out there. And so 6 months old, there I was out there fishing.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's
That's
awesome. That's awesome. When did you decide to transition into like, I'm fishing, I'm having fun, I'm loving it. Now I want to put this on YouTube and start documenting that. Why, what started that to get to do YouTube? Because was YouTube big back then, and 9 years ago, would you say, as it is now?
It wasn't to the level that it is now, of course, but it was still big.
Yeah.
I mean, back then you could get on YouTube, make your videos, and yeah, there was people becoming famous and people making money from it and stuff. So yeah, it was still a thing. But like I said, there wasn't a lot of competition at
Yeah.
that. When I first, well, so to answer your question, I've always been kind of like, I don't know what the word is. Like, I've always wanted to leave something like a legacy, when I
Yeah.
die for my
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
And so initially I thought, you know what, I'm going to write a book on fishing. I thought everybody in the world has something going for them. Either they're naturally talented that they could just walk up to a piano and start playing some Mozart or whatever,
Right.
or they just did it their whole life.
Yeah.
And they got good at it by practice and learning, And I thought, well, I don't feel like I'm naturally gifted at anything, but I know I've been fishing my whole life.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a book on fishing. That way, when I'm dead and gone, my kids could pull a book off the shelf and say, look, this was my dad. This is what he did. This is what he accomplished. So I started writing this book, and I got about 30 pages into it. And then I remember I went out one day, and I learned a little new trick. Nothing major, nothing, but it contradicted some of the stuff that I had written. Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I look back and I'm like, okay. Well, I got to modify this paragraph and whatnot. And so I did it. And then I went out again and I learned another thing. And then it started contradicting again. Right. So I said, I'm never going to finish this book. Either I got to just say, I'm going to stop here and then write a part 2 or something.
Yeah.
Or it's just going to continue to evolve forever. So,
Right.
so I thought, well, I looked into publishing and all that, and back then it was expensive. You're looking at like 10 grand to get a book published and all that. And I thought, man, I don't have that kind of money. So then I was watching some YouTube videos, and I thought, man, well, maybe I could do some YouTube. I don't know. I'm already out there fishing. What's the difference if I take a camera? And I remember I had seen Steve Douglas's videos.
Hmm.
I was actually intimidated when I saw him because he's got the editing and the voiceovers and all that stuff,
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I can't compete with that. I barely know how to turn a computer on. So I was watching some other videos, and there was a channel called Fishing with Uncle Steve, I think is what it was. Uncle Steve.
Oh my gosh, I used to watch him all the time.
Remember him?
Yes.
Yeah. So hello, boys and girls of all ages.
Boys and girls.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What I loved about his videos were they were super simple. He would just set up his camera and film himself fishing and just kind of nonchalantly talk to the camera, explain what he's doing. Yeah. And I thought, man, that's perfect. That's me right there. I could do that. Mm-hmm. So after seeing him and his video, that's when I was inspired more to go ahead and give it a shot.
Right.
Helped me a lot was that nobody at that time was really doing the kind of fishing I was doing. You know, I'm in this little bitty tiny creek in this little bitty boat catching these big fish. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
It was unique.
I think that drew a lot of attention towards my channel initially, and then it just kind of grew out from there.
yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about the rods. I know everybody's dying to hear how you got into the rods, what made you think of that idea and everything, because that's like what you're most well known for, is the rods, obviously. And I love mine, by the way. I've caught a lot of fish on it already. But just kind of run me through how you got the idea for that, and what was your process and like thinking like behind the scenes with all that.
So things kind of lined up for me. I think in 2006, we had a real bad hailstorm that came through here locally, and it damaged a bunch of roofs. And me being a general contractor, I jumped on the roofing, and I did roofing for I don't know, probably 3 years straight.
Wow.
So we were making good money knocking this roof, and I started saving up money, just save it, save. And I'd gotten to a point where I had enough money saved up that I wanted to invest in something. I always remember one of my clients taught me this, and if you guys can remember this, it'll help you in the long run. I'm going to share this little piece of advice for you. 10% of everything that you earn is yours to keep. Okay. Now, you make $100, a $10 bill is not going to kill you. You save it. All right. Now that $10 bill is not yours to use as, hey, well, you know, I got an extra $10. Let's go to the movies, or let's go get a pizza. Right. It's investment money. It's money that you use only if you can make that money make more money for you.
Make it back.
Yeah.
Right. So I had that in mind, and I thought, okay, what should I invest in? And I was kind of all over the board, looking at this, looking at that, and I said, no, you know what? If I'm going to invest in something, I'm gonna invest in myself. I said, well, what can I do? And one of the things that I felt that had been lacking for me was the perfect fishing rod. You know,
Yeah.
I found several rods, and I was like, man, I like the action on this one, but I don't like the look, or the butt end's too short, or the grips aren't right, or, you know, I've never been a fan of cork handles, and then that EVA foam, I'm not really a big fan of either. And I was like, man, you know, if I could come up with something that has every characteristic in one, I'd be happy. Right. And I actually talked to Steve, and Steve put me in touch with a manufacturer. And so I talked to them, and we went over everything, and we designed the Flathead rod. And I was sitting there looking at my bank account thinking, man, I've worked 3 hard years for this money.
Yeah.
Should I do this? Should I pull the trigger and just gamble and see if people are even going to like this rod, you know?
Yeah.
I would say I'm either going to sell rods, or I'm going to have a lifetime supply of fishing rods, you know? One or the other. But so, man, I kid you not, I was nauseous when I bit the bullet and that money. But it's come a long way. And one of the things is, I tell people, I'm not out to get rich. You know, I'd rather break even or go broke, making sure that people get quality and they're treated right, than to try to make a quick buck. That's not me. You know? I'm always good by everything I do. So with the rod, good, bad, and ugly, I always tell people, hey, tell me what you think. Tell me if there's anything failing, or if there's something that we need to change or upgrade, and we'll make it happen, you know? Right. So that's where the rod business came into be. And now we've got 4 different rods, you know? But that's where that's at.
That's man, crazy. That's awesome, man. To go from, so you started off with the Flathead rod first.
That was the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one.
And then added it in the Blue Cat rod.
The Blue Cat rod.
Which, come on, Blue Cat, come on,
Blue Cat rod. That's right.
Every time. And then you added the medium action, and right after that, you got the Paula Smith series.
Yeah.
You've been on fire lately, Kris.
It's tough, man. I'm a one-man band over here. I work Monday through Friday with my construction job. I leave the house about 7:15 in the morning. I take all these packages and drop them off on my way out, head off to work till about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, come back, pack all my orders that came through till about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, eat dinner, go back, do it all again, and then Saturday morning, get up at 4:45 and drive to the lake and take people fishing for the weekend. So
for a living.
Yeah.
but you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't change it. I'd rather do that than to be sitting on the sofa watching some rerun or something.
Right.
Yeah. You seem like there's certain type of people. Some people that like to relax and sit back, and some people just hungry and just want to work. You seem like you're one of those guys who doesn't take a vacation much.
Right. Yeah, I don't, man. But at the end, I always tell my friends, and when they tell me, I said, hey, there's no time like the present.
Yeah.
Get it now. Get it while it's there. Why turn it down? Why push it away?
Yeah.
You might not have that again, you know?
Exactly.
And the other thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to transition. I know I can't be lifting shingles up on a roof every day and mixing bags of concrete and be on my knees setting tile all the time. So I'm putting in that hard work now so that I can grow this rod business and the guide service so that I can kick back a little bit.
Exactly.
And because guiding's not physically hard. You get out there on a boat, cutting it up with the clients and casting out some rods and watching them have a good time. And I love that. So yeah, I'd like to spend the rest of my later years just taking people fishing.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you have any competition on your lake or river as far as guide services? Are there other guide services there, or are you pretty much?
I'm the only catfish guide out here.
Ooh, you got a lock on that market.
Yeah, I'm the only catfish guide out here. There's white bass guides and walleye and crappie guys and stuff like that, but I'm the only catfish guy.
For such a good fisher, you'd be surprised. Up, guys, I'm moving to New Mexico. I'm about to give Kris some competition.
Yeah, it worked out, man. As far as business plan for all you guys watching, I recommend if you're getting into YouTube, branding is very important. You get that name brand, and then you build it. What better place to build it than on YouTube? You're getting exposure. It's free. You're actually getting paid for it if you get to that certain point, and then you turn around and branch off from there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The majority of us aren't going to make that big money where we could just live off YouTube and our day jobs or whatever, but you can build a name for yourself and then work from there. So.
Yeah, definitely can. What would you say was one of your videos that you put out that you didn't think it was gonna do anything and it just took off through the roof?
There I have what I call filler videos. I haven't done in a while, but when I'm filming, so one of the tricks that I do when I film, if I'm camping for a weekend, I'll make a list ahead of time. Okay, we're gonna do a major fishing video. We're gonna do maybe a rig time video or a bait cutting video, and I have 5 or 6 videos that I can get out of one trip.
Yeah.
So that way I have content to put out. And sometimes I'll get some stuff that's just not enough maybe for a video or something,
I feel that,
And I remember I had this one video, and I don't remember what the name of it is, but we caught 2 5-pound blue cats, and that was it. And I'm thinking, man, this isn't enough for a video. I'm like, all right. And so I hit a dry spell in my filming. I'm like, I'll throw that one out. And next thing you know, it's got all these views. I'm like, man, okay. That officially proves to me that I do not understand YouTube whatsoever. I'll put out a video where we're just hammering monster flatheads over and over and over and over, and it doesn't get half as many views as the one where we caught 2 small blue cats.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy how it works like that. It's crazy. What would you say is different now in YouTube versus back then when you started YouTube? For somebody who's starting out, If they're starting out in the YouTube game right now, what would you tell them, like how to grow, or what should they do?
You gotta stay on top of it, man. You gotta stay one step ahead. Back when I started, like I said, there was just a handful of us. It was me, it was Steve Douglas, there was Fat Boy Dan Outdoors, there was Luke Nichols hadn't even started yet, actually. He just started not too long after I started, I think. And so it wasn't too hard, you know. And like some of my most popular videos are like the bait testing videos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Things that are, and if you look at it, these are things that are not, at that time especially, not really done, you know. Right. And now you still got to stay on top of that. You still got to, you got to throw in something different, something that's going to pique the interest of somebody. Like I say, I mean, everybody's out fishing, you know. Why are you going to watch this guy versus that guy if they're doing the same thing?
Yeah.
So whether it's their personality or whether it's maybe there's doing something a little bit different that draws you there, you got to have that little edge, you know. And like I tell Palmetto, I said one thing he's doing, you know, there's a lot of live streamers out there, but he's got a whole nother level of live streaming.
Right.
So that right there in itself, I honestly believe his channel is just gonna just blow up eventually. You know.
Yeah.
So you try to find something unique that you can put out there aside from just the regular content. You know.
Right. Yeah. Most definitely. I definitely 100% agree with that. You got to stay on top of YouTube. Find your niche and do something different. Don't do something like everybody else. It's very, very hard in this YouTube world where people like to do something and copy somebody else and do it their own. But you have to be original. Definitely try to be original as possible and genuine. I had a question and I done forgot it. This is the problem with the live streams, guys. Cut, edit. Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead. Oh man, no, you can't do this. You cannot do this to me, bro. Bud. My bad. We've been on the water all day, guys.
We're scatterbrained. Anyways, I was gonna ask about. I mean, I guess you kind of just explained this. The catfishing with onions video. I remember watching that, and I know you said a lot of people grew up watching your videos. I was one of those people. Just saying. And I remember seeing that video a long time ago. And so, what was like? In your head, what were you expecting in that video? Like, did you think you were going to have like massive success, or were you not really sure? Or were you like, this is going to be like a viral video? Like, what were your thoughts like going into like that experimental bait video?
Okay. So the way that all started was people started messaging me. They'd email me and they say, hey, have you ever tried onions? And I'm thinking onions. Okay, so one thing you got to keep in mind is that I was always getting emails like this. Yeah. There was, have you tried bubble gum? Have you tried cigarette butts? Have you tried? I'm like, I'm not gonna make these videos, right?
Yeah.
Golden raisins. I'm like, all right, So the onion one kept coming. It was like, it just kept coming, right? Hey, I heard onions work. You got to try onions. Hey. And then finally it was somebody said, hey, I saw this TV show where they were using onions and they were catching all these catfish and stuff, right? So there was enough interest that I saw to at least go test it out.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was 99.9% sure I was going to catch anything. But because there was so many people pushing for it, I said, okay, I'll at least go test the theory, So I got out there and I baited all these hooks with onions, and we left them overnight. We came back. Obviously, there was nothing on there. Right. And I told my daughter, I feel so guilty, like wasting these people's time. Let's at least make a how to cook onions on a campfire at the end of this. So that's how that video came to be. But yeah, we never caught anything on it. And it was, I know it wasn't a bad night or anything, because we went back right after we decided we were done with it. We went back, baited those hooks with some regular cut bait, and man, we tore them up. you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was just work. Sorry, guys.
How was your chicken liver chum bait? Do you still use chicken liver chum bait when you go out fishing?
So because I'm out mainly guiding and stuff like that now, I don't really use it. But it was and is still an effective bait. The theory that I had behind it, for those of you guys who don't know, what I do is I'll take chicken livers, put them in a blender, make sure your significant other or your mom's not home when you do this. But you blend up them chicken livers. I'll put like some sardines in there
Yeah.
to get that oil. And lately, I've been doing now for a long time is I'll put a little bit of clam juice in there, mix it all up, and just blend it up till it looks like a smoothie. Then you take chicken and you cut your chicken into chunks, cubes, 1 inch cubes, or whatever size you want to use, and then you put that mixture into it and let it absorb it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're doing is when you cast that out, that stuff is falling off and making a trail.
Yeah.
And it's to your bait. So it's a really good bait, and I've caught lots and lots of fish with it. I've even caught a flathead on it one time, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you gotta keep it cool. And I know I did not put that in my video.
Like that's a key
People-
part. Keep it cool.
Either freeze that stuff or keep it cool, keep it on ice. Because once that stuff turns, man, it is nasty. But yeah, that's how it came to be. And now that I'm out fishing and trying to get these guys on some big trophy-sized fish, I'm using fresh cut bait all the time.
Fresh cut bait. I was about to ask, what's your number one bait? So that's pretty much the forage.
Gizzard shad is my first pick. I'll catch
Yeah.
them on carp or bluegill, but if I had my choice, it's fresh gizzard shad.
And when you're taking them out on the guides, are you mainly targeting blue cats, or do you go after flatheads too as well?
No, it's all blue cats. We'll catch an occasional flathead out here, but the population of blue cats in our lake is just
Yeah, right.
I mean, 9 out of 9 and then 0.9, you're gonna catch a blue cat, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we have a question right here from the audience. What is one thing you have to do before you start fishing? Do you have like a lucky thing that you always have to do, a ritual or something like that you do?
No, mainly just put the plug in the boat. That's my main thing right there.
You definitely have you forgot the plug before?
Anything after that is gonna be a good day. But no, actually, I have not forgotten the plug before. But funny story, speaking of plugs, is so I recently blew the engine on my boat from it was the 89 Evinrude that came with my Hurricane deck boat, and finally it gave out on me. So I just put a brand new Yamaha 150 on it, and I took it. The guys at the shop here that they always done good work on my boat for me and stuff. And when I went to pick up my boat, I looked at it and I almost didn't recognize it because they washed it, right? My boat, and I told them, I said, before the boat I brought you was like a nice earth tone brown, and this was blue. And they said, no, my mechanic tells me, man, I didn't have the heart to give it to you that dirty with a brand new 150 on the back, so I had it detailed for you. I was like, oh, well, thank you. I said, this is the last time it's gonna be this clean. So I hook it up, I go do my business, get some food, get some stuff, drive all the way down to the lake, and I back that boat up, and I go to find the plug, and I'm looking, I'm like, what? They took the plugs out when they washed it, and they never put them back in. So I had to drive all the way back to town and buy a plug because they were closed already.
Oh, man. That's terrible. That's terrible. So I assume that when you go do your flathead fishing, you're fishing in that back creek on them float tubes or that little boat. Do you do guidance services back there, or is that just like you take friends back there?
That's just VIP only, man.
VIP, you don't want to give up those secrets.
A lot of people ask me for how much I would charge to take people out there. And that spot to me, it's so sacred and personal. My kids grew up there, you know, and I'm already feeling bad as it is because YouTube and the power of the internet has exposed it more than I expected it would ever do.
Yeah.
So the day I start charging money to take people out there, I just feel like, you know, that it would disrespect that spot for me.
Right. Yeah, the love is lost.
Yeah.
So if you do see people out there, it's people that are either really close to me and have gained my confidence to take them out there, or it's people that are like thousands of miles away that I know would never come back. You know?
Right.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how I am with that spot. But you know, it's a bummer. I went out there recently and it was sad. Like I've never ever seen anything out there, and then little by little I kind of started noticing people had been out there, but there wasn't really trash, or there was, you know, I'd find like a little piece of something or a cigarette butt or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing that I found when I went out there, I was actually so upset I even left a note, was there was just toilet paper all around where the campsite is, like where you would sit and set up. I mean, man, go in the bushes, man. It's like 15 feet away, you know?
Yeah.
So I left them a note and said, hey, you know, have some respect for your fellow campers and fishermen, you know? Clean up after yourself, take it out of here, bury it, something, but don't just leave it there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one thing, man, especially being on the internet. If you guys have spots that are special to you, I don't know if you'd want to film there. And if you do, make sure that there are no visible background, or they're going to find your spot.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big struggle you have with YouTube. Is trying to keep spots to yourself. It's very, very, very hard. You want to get the content out, but then at the same time, you want to be able to fish that spot again later.
Right.
You know, crowded. You know, it's definitely a challenge.
I've actually struggled with that as well. I don't know if you know, there's a really deep spot in the section of river that I fished that's like 80 to 100 feet deep. And last year, I saw no one the whole year. And this year, I've already seen at least 10, 15, maybe 20 people. And I'm like, man, is this because of me, like, posting on the internet? I don't know. It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah, and the spot he's talking about is like Mount Everest. You gotta climb back up a huge mountain,
rappel down. No,
it's like it's like your spot that you had to go through all this stuff to get to. It's not.
I drove up to. There's this one little spot that I love to fish. I drove up, and when I got there, somebody had started building like a little platform. You know, I had a little piece of plywood, and I'm like, sorry.
I would have done the same thing.
You're going downstream. Sorry. Anytime I come, if I see something, it's going. Sorry, guys.
That's it.
Oh, that's great. So we know you're known and famous for cathead fishing, but have you always fished for catheads, or then other species that you fish for or that you want to fish for?
You mean flatheads?
Flatheads, yeah.
Flathead's always been my number one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're my favorite. I remember I've always chased catfish. I caught a bunch of channel cats here at this lake, caught tons of blue cats, but the one that I could never catch was a flathead catfish. And once I got into researching it way back when I was younger, I was reading In Fisherman magazine and rigs and live bait and stuff. And I remember one time I toted a bucket of live bluegill out to that fishing spot that I was telling you, and I threw my line out and sat there waiting. Next thing you know, man, that just boom. And after you catch a fish like that, man, you're hooked.
Yeah, it's hard.
Hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never caught a cathead before, your boy?
Not yet, man. I gotta see where they at.
It's coming. Look, man, I've been up since 3:30. We've been out on the water all day, man. That's that new species right there, that cathead, man. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Once you get hooked on one of them we have flatheads in the Potomac, but they're very, very, very few and far between.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I got hooked to that 52-pounder that I caught, that was like, I love this fish. Like it was like bass fish, bass what? Like I was like, you get that rod, the head shake, the rod going down, and it's just like you're instantly hooked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you done any like offshore ocean fishing or targeting any type of species, or do you want to do any?
Not too much, man. I booked a charter trip one time when my ex brother-in-law graduated from the Marine Corps up in San Diego. We went out and caught some fish, and I have a buddy who's he's a guide out there in Corpus Christi, Texas, Captain Eric Hernandez with Real Locos, and he tried to get me out to do some shark fishing, but it was just bad timing. He does it from the shore. They'll yak the lines out, but we had an awesome guard trip there with him. My daughter ended up catching like a 7+ footer on the blue cat with that rod. That's when the prototypes came out with them.
Oh yeah,
really?
He got a big old 7-footer, man.
That video and the blue cat rod called a stingray. I saw that video too.
Yeah. They've been put to the test, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I'm gonna try to catch a bluefin tuna on the blue cat rod. That would be some fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. The rod style, the way it's made, actually works really well for like leopard shark fishing in California. So like when I picked it up, I was like, this feels like exactly something I would use for leopard shark. So I'm going to be heading there in June, hopefully. So I'm hopefully going to be getting on some sharks with that. We'll see how it holds up. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm excited on that.
Yeah, I think my buddy went to, where did he go? I forgot where he went. And they went on a charter trip, and he took the Flathead rod. And they were fishing over a shipwreck. And he says that they hooked into a fish, and they pulled it up, and it was I don't know, maybe this big or so.
Yeah. Right.
And he told his buddy, he said, well, let's hook it on and drop it back down and see what we get into. Right? So something hit that big old bait, and they fought it back and forth and back and forth. They were switching the rod off, and I think, from what I understand, his buddy had leaned the rod on the rail, and he ended up snapping the flathead rod. But who knows what the heck that fish was, man?
Dang. Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my favorite part about your rods is the rod grips. Like,
yes, they're beefy.
Yes, they're beefy and they're solid. Like an EV foam, that stuff tears up very easily. Say with the cork,
it gets smooth.
Yeah,
it's hard.
To hold. Yeah, those cork stuff. Your rod, you're the holder on your rod. Definitely my favorite part of your rods. You definitely did a great design with that one. What material is that?
It's just a rubberized. I mean, I don't know like the actual material name, but it's a rubberized grip. And one of the things that we did, I don't know if you could see that or not in there, but we did a stitched grip.
Yeah,
that's the new improvement that we did. Initially, it was glued, and I guess with extreme heat and stuff, sometimes the seam would pop.
Yeah.
And no, we're not having that. So we went to that stitching. This is that Paula Smith rod you guys are talking about.
That's a nice rod right there.
I still can't figure out what color it is, man. This thing is crazy. I'll sit there. It's like a catfishing mood ring, man. It goes from black to copper to bronze to like maroon to, I don't know, to brown.
Wow.
You got a bunch of different colors in it. That's awesome. Yeah. That's what Paula Smith was saying when she debuted it. It was a bunch of different colors in there. That thing's a nice rod.
Definitely. Oh, there's Mike Chavez. What's up, Mike?
Oh, what's up, Mike?
We're still here at the boat launch.
Yeah, we have it. So we were out with Mike Chavez. Mike Chavez was with us too today fishing. You said y'all pulled over. Yeah, no, we're at the boat ramp. We didn't even leave. Yeah. We were like, we're just gonna. He was like, do you want to drive like 40 minutes and then stop, or it's like 30 minutes? I'm like, man, let's just wait here and wait it out. And then we'll head back home after the show, man. Troopers, man. We we do this for you guys, man. We do this for you guys.
He's like, what?
So what do you have plans coming up on YouTube? Do you have any like plans, anything that you want to do? Next big thing on YouTube. That's what I know you may have another ride you may drop or something like that coming. I know Kevin keeps asking for a green ride. He's like green ride. But do you have any plans for YouTube?
I want to get back on my little stretch of river and do some fishing. And actually, Alex's birthday's coming up here pretty soon, so I took a weekend off from guiding, and we're gonna plan on a weekend trip just fishing. So we'll probably see a family video coming up here pretty quick, and then I want to start doing more live streams.
Yeah,
I've been super frustrated, like I was telling you guys, with the wind.
Yeah,
because my trips on Saturday end like around 1:30. I'm off the water by like 2:30 or so, depending. And then I got nothing else to do the rest of the afternoon.
right.
And I don't drive home because it's an hour drive. And then I have to get up an hour earlier just to drive back. And it's miles on the truck and whatnot. So I just get a room at the lake and I just hang out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's time I could just be on the water, filming or doing a live stream or something like that. So as soon as that wind breaks and slows down a little bit, you probably expect some live streams out there.
More live streams.
Nice. I see a lot of people saying yes, more live streams. Yes, more live streams. They know that your personality will flourish in some live streams. They definitely would like to see that. Oh man, let's see. Have you ever used leeches for bait?
No, over here we don't really have leeches so access to them or anything like that. So
yeah,
right.
I haven't really used them. What about you guys?
Never. I've never even seen a leech before in my life. For bait, I don't even want to mess with them things.
No, I have not either.
Yeah, I use eel. We use eel on the Potomac River.
Plenty of times.
That works very good for us. Have you ever tried?
No, we don't have eel over here either.
Okay. So yeah, if you don't have eel, it probably wouldn't work for you very well in your in your body of water.
Right.
We did try mackerel. Tim Molina came with some mackerel. Man, I tell you what, I thought gizzard shad was stinky. That mackerel stunk, man. And then I don't know if it was just because it had been froze or what, but that stuff, like I'd go to cast it and like it'd flake and there'd be like pieces on my face and on the boat. And man,
that's just
I went home and I had to take like 3 showers to get that smell off. I told Tim, I said, hey, from now on, I'll take care of the bait, man. You just show up. bring some donuts or something.
Oh man, Tim, you fired, Tim.
Yeah, you're fired.
You never take care of the bait again. Oh man.
So any other species other than catfish that you have like a desire to catch? Like I know for me, this summer snakehead is going to be a big thing. I occasionally bass fish and stuff like that. Is there any other like off species other than catfish that you get like the itch to fish for every now and then?
You know what's funny, man, is people ask me that a lot, and honestly, I'm just so fixated on catfish.
Wow.
If the only other fish that I'd fish for would be like bluegill, and just because I need bait, you know what I mean? Carp fishing. I just want to learn enough carp fishing techniques to catch them so I can cut them up for bait. I'm sorry, carp people, but I need bait, man.
Oh man, I love my carp. I'd tear them up, man.
That's right.
Like we would get a lot of followers and subscribers from UK, and like UK, they like worship carp over there. They praise carp over there. But I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut this carp up, and we're gonna don't dislike the channel.
Now, as far as catfish species, we were this close, man. We were trying to put together a trip for me, Luke, and Steve Douglas to travel and go fish for Wells cats, and we're gonna have a video of all 3 of us fishing Wells cats.
Yo, that would be epic. That's dope. That's dope.
We had started talking about it, and we were really kind of looking into it, and right when COVID hit, man. So, yeah, it just kind of killed everything. So
Float that.
But I would like to get out there and catch one of them whales.
Oh yeah. I think everybody in the chat would love to go out there after them whales catfish. Them things get like 250 plus. That's
huge.
That's huge. Yeah, I would definitely love to go after that, man. Where are they located at? They're in
Europe,
like Spain area.
Spain?
Yeah.
Okay.
River Ebro.
I would love to go to Spain too. Spain looks like a dope country to visit. Oh, Willow said now I have to unsubscribe. He has a carp right in his
Man, that's a lot of bait you're holding right there.
That's a lot of bait.
Have you tried have you got on the Dieter train and used chicken? I'd used mango chicken that in my last live with my brother, and it surprised me. It was working pretty good.
So it's funny because people ask me about that, and I say, man, you got to remember who started that whole chicken thing, man. One of my very first videos was chicken marinated with clam juice. And the way that came to be is because there's that time of year where you find those blue cats with shells in their stomach. You know, they're eating those clams and those mussels. They're over the mussel beds.
Yeah.
So how are you going to get a mussel on a hook? Well, you can't really do that, right? So my theory was take some clam juice to mimic that scent and put it on a bigger bait, and chicken's the best little protein, like a sponge.
Yeah.
So you get that, you marinate it, and you're giving them what they're naturally feeding on.
Yeah.
So that chicken thing goes way back, man.
Way back. Look, Chris says I'm the OG of the chicken.
You want to talk chicken? Go back to the first Muddy River YouTube video.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that chicken liver chum bait. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've never caught a flathead, and I want to get and go after and target flatheads. If you want to target flatheads, where would you want to go? Where are you looking for? Shallow water, deep water structure. What are you doing when you're looking for flatheads?
So in rivers or streams, what I'm looking for is bends. First, I'll look for bends in the river, or I'll look for feeder creeks that feed in. I look for nasty log jams, any type of structure, or a bunch of rock. They love rock as much as they do timber.
Yeah.
And you gotta be willing to throw right in there where they're at, And I just did a video on this, actually talking about where you would find them in this type of structure. And a lot of people, I don't know, they think they're just on the bottom, because that's all you're throwing. They're throwing these Carolina rigs, they're throwing these bottom type rigs.
Yeah.
And there's a few hanging out there, but they're not all there. And not only that, the way they're designed, they got that jaw underneath. So they're designed to bite upwards, not downwards, And then their eyes are more up on the top, so they're looking upwards, not downwards. So you gotta get that bait in the water column. And here's the other thing is that people believe that they're territorial. And I tell you for a fact, and I know this because I literally, when I'm bored in my fishing spot, I swim. I dive in here and swim with these fish. And I pet them like they're my pets, right? Yeah, I'll go in the bush. I mean, practically like ham fishing. I'll go in that bush and just feel around. So I get in my mind what they're doing, how they're living, and where to target these fish, right? And I find that the majority of them aren't even on the bottom. They're stacked in these trees and the branches. They're side by side. But the territorial part comes where they like that one spot right there.
Right.
The other fish could be here. It could be here. It could be over here. But once he tries to get in that spot, he's like, hey, that's my spot. You go find your own. So I could sit on one fallen tree and pull out flathead after flathead.
Right.
And the misconception is that if you pull out one good flathead, you're done. Move somewhere else. Now the other thing is I've noticed that when they're not feeding, they're not feeding. There could be 1,000 flatheads in there, and they will not bite that bait if they're not feeding. So what I do, let's say I pull up at 6 o'clock in the evening, I throw my baits out, and I know this is a good spot. I mean, come on, I've caught fish here before, or there's no other spot like this out there. I'm just not catching anything.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is I move to another spot. I fish there for a while, and then I come back to that spot a couple, 2, 3 hours later and fish it again. And then I notice that I catch fish.
Right.
Yeah.
That's actually something I've noticed myself when flathead fishing. I notice if I don't hit the sweet spot, I don't get bit at all on that cast. But if I hit the sweet spot, then I get bit like immediately. So
Right.
if I miss the cast, I'm kind of like, all right, I'll give it 5 minutes and I'll reel up. But and then I've also done that where it's been slow for an hour, and I'll move to another spot, catch fish, go back at the end of the day, and then catch like 2 or 3 fish that weren't biting before. So I've definitely seen that before.
Right.
And there's a question in here. Do you prefer live bait or cut bait for catching flatheads? What works better for you?
In my personal experience, I think it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
I think when they're actively feeding, you can catch them on both.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the bite's a little bit tough and you want to entice them a little bit more, then live bait is the way to go. But if, like you said, that sweet spot, if you can get that bait in that sweet spot, they'll hit that cut bait.
Right.
And there's a lot of times that I won't even mess with live bait just because of the hassle of keeping it alive and, you know, all that stuff. I just take some fresh cut bait, throw big chunks out there, and I've not had any issues.
When you're fishing for flathead, what size circle hooks are you? Are you using circle hooks or are you using what type of hooks?
I use circle hooks, 10-aught, 11-aught sometimes. Depends on the bait.
Yeah, big mouse. Yeah.
You know, big baits. And then one thing that I tell people who are new to flathead fishing is when you think you're ready to hook that fish, count another 10 Mississippi. You know? Yeah. Just let them take that.
Yeah.
What those fish will do, especially if you're fishing with live bait, they'll hit that bait to stun it. So they'll hit it and stun it. And just then that initial hit and grab, they may not have it the way they want it. And the way they want it is head first. They'll always swallow the bait head first. So they may have grabbed it tail first or by the side, but and then they'll spit it out and then they'll grab it again and they'll spit it out and grab it again until they get it situated to where they can swallow it, kind of like a snake would, right?
Yeah.
You got to give them that time to get that bait positioned and then hook them.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Flathead master, somebody said. Yes, he's the flathead. He's been doing it for a long, we said 20 plus years. He's been chasing them flatheads.
It depends on what happens in my situation. If I get screwed again and my line breaks, I will jump in again. I will.
Oh man, this guy went swimming in January in the Potomac River. Oh man, it was like 34-degree water temps to get his PB at the time was 34 pound,
36
pounds,
36 and a half
blue cat.
Oh man,
that was a crazy day, man.
Is that on video?
Yes,
it's on video.
It's on video. We were fishing together, and it was a winter, and it was snowing that day too. Luckily, I brought my pop-up tent, and we planned to light a fire, so we lit a fire so we could change out his clothes. And
soaking wet down to my chest.
he's
oh man,
I'm like, yo.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll do the same thing, man.
Yeah, but I was like, he sounds like Kris. He goes, one with the fish. Yeah. When Kris said he was swimming with the fish, they were like, is Kris drinking? What is it? Oh man, I can imagine now. Do you have your snorkel?
Yeah.
I just take a good breath, get them singer's lungs. I just dive down in there, man.
Yeah.
Have you noodled for catfish?
I have. I've tried it. I don't do it like a lot of these people do, where they shove their hand down and grab them by the gills and all that. You know, I'm not about hurting the fish.
Yeah.
But I just grab them by the jaw and then I'll bear hug the thing, and try to keep it from thrashing around too much. And then once I catch it, admire it and let them go. I mean, it more of just the experience,
Yeah.
a whole nother level of fishing for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh, definitely,
And
definitely.
what finally discouraged me from doing that was the first. Okay, there was the first time, man. I
He
reached
got more times.
I reached down and I found this rock. Right, it was the smoothest rock I had ever felt. Until I found the edge of the rock, I realized there was a big old snapping turtle.
Oh no.
Oh, that's no rock.
Oh.
Swam off, right? And then the second time, after that, I was like, no, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. And then I had a buddy tell me, he's like, man, I want a noodle, I want to try it. Come on, let's try it. And I'm like, eh. He kept bugging me forever. I said, you know what? Fine, let's work this bank right here. So we got off the boat, we got on the bank, and I was right about to stick my hands in the bank to see. And as soon as I did that, this beaver shot between my legs, right? I said, yeah, I'm done noodling, man. No, we're good. Get the rod.
Man, get the rod. Get
So,
get the flathead rod. We ain't doing this no more.
so yeah, I'm pretty happy. I still have all my 10 fingers, man. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
but
don't
yeah,
blame.
mainly it was just for the experience,
Yeah, yeah,
something totally different. And but now, like I say, on a hot summer day, I just jump in and I'll feel around just so I can personally understand where these fish are at, what they're doing and stuff.
right.
And at least know, like I sat here for 5 hours and I didn't catch a bite. Is there anything in here? Oh, they're here. What the heck? Gotta put the puzzle together, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, Anna's here to troll. Hey Anna, how you doing? Oh man, that is awesome, man. We're about to wrap this show up, guys. We have a long ride back home.
All right.
Oh yeah, so we do our regular. Do you have any closing remarks that you want to leave the people with? Any inspiration, anything like that?
Well, as always, guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our content. All of us, it means a lot. That's why we do it. Especially leaving comments, letting us know how we've impacted your life or inspired you, or even if we just made you laugh. All of that, it means everything to us. So when you can, let us know how you feel. That way, we know that our efforts are appreciated. And as always, I appreciate you guys for the love and support for 9 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. I just want to say thank you, Kris, for coming on our show, taking time out of your evening to join us. And you are, a very humble, very, very smart, very intelligent, very funny, charismatic guy. And I just want to say big shout out to you, man, Kris. I respect your hustle.
Yes.
And man, I definitely look up to you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me on the show, man.
Awesome, guys, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Shout out to everybody, man. We got to hit this road because we ain't gonna get home till like 9-10 o'clock tonight. The things we do for fishing, man.
I know, right?
And we got skunk too.
Yeah, we got skunk.
That makes a long car ride home. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Y'all be safe.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.
Peace.